Welcome to Access 2010. This particular lesson is going to have a look at giving you an overview of Access 2010 and what the structure looks like once you're in an Access 2010 database. If you're interested in finding out what you'll be able to do if you actually go all the way to the end of the course, then just skip forward a couple of lessons and have a watch of that one. For the minute, let's see how we can get started with Access 2010. If somebody has been nice to you, you'll have a shortcut on your desktop, like this one here. Double click will then start the program. If we use File and Exit, you may need to go down to Start, bottom left, up to All Programs, into Microsoft Office, and then you have Microsoft Access 2010. One click and the program starts. So you've got two main methods of getting in. Shortcut on the desktop, Start menu. You will find, if we close this, that if you use it regularly, and again depending on your version of Windows, that Access actually sticks itself to your Start menu, and you can start it then from here, and the program will start. Now, one big difference that you will find with Access compared to the other programs in the suite is that you do not start and get given a blank whatever. So you don't get given a blank database. It's up to you now to decide whether you want to create a new database from scratch, and we'll look at how to do that, or to open an existing one. For the purposes of this overview, we'll open an existing one, and we'll open a recent one. This one here is called Example 2010, and it's available in your working folder should you wish to use it and have a look at it. So we'll open that up with an open access database. The left-hand pane here is referred to as the navigation pane. And then across the top, you have a number of ribbons. You have the home ribbon, which has the main options for dealing with any data. So you can see on here, we've got cut, copy, filtering, deleting, etc. All of those are grayed out at the minute because we don't have any data objects open. We have the Create ribbon. This is where you would actually start to create new objects for your database. So we have table, table in design, SharePoint lists, form options, report options, and query and macro options, and some VBA options as well. We then have an external data tab, which allows you to both import and link to external data. So we can link to Excel, we can link to other Access databases, we can link to any ODBC database. So that's any database that uses open database connectivity. We can link to text files, XML files, and more. There's a little drop list of more, and you can see a few items in there. We then have an export group here that allows you to export data from your Access database into Excel format, text format, XML, PDF, email, into another Access database, into a Word mail merge, and more. Oh, you see more items listed there. Even allows us to create an email to collect data from people to put into your database. So if you're building a database and you need to do some data gathering, you can do all that from within Access. This bit here will create you the email that sends to people to collect the data, and this will manage the replies as they come in. Obviously, we'll look at these bits as we get into the title. The last main tab here is Database Tools. This allows you to run macros, manage the Visual Basic, manage your relationships, look at object dependencies, a number of little tools for analyzing your data. We've got Analyze Table, Analyze Performance, and Database Documenter. Move data from your database into SQL Server, into another Access database, or into SharePoint. And then we have an add-ins drop-down, and then an add-in manager for managing any add-ins. So these four tabs are your main ones on the ribbons. What you will find is as you open objects, and the objects in Access are split into tables, queries, forms, reports, and macros. So these are the main objects within your Access database, and obviously we'll explore what each of those is for and the reason behind them. If we just open a table for now, TBL Children, you'll find that with the table open, suddenly we get a new tab at the top here, Table Tools, which has a Fields option and a Table option. If I close that table and open a query, what you'll find is it doesn't look like you get another tab, but as soon as you change this query into design mode, which we use the little design icon there on the home ribbon, suddenly you get Query Tools Design, and there's a lot more options there, just to deal with the design of the query. We close that and open a form. Let's go for tabbed employees. Again, nothing extra at the top until we go into Design View, and suddenly we get 3 tabs inside of Form Design Tools one. That's Form Design Tools with a sub-tab of Design, Arrange and Format. All to do with controlling the layout of this form and the data that's being used in this form. Close. And the same for your reports. That one requires a parameter, so we won't open that one, as does that one. Let's open it in design mode. And you can see Report Design Tools actually has 4 tabs: Design, Arrange, Format, and then Page Setup. And close. And lastly, the macros, which are actually outside the remit of this foundation course, but we'll have a quick look at the design of one of those. You see it too gets a ribbon of its own: Macro Tools, Design, and then the macro options. So those are the main objects. Each of those object types has its own ribbon that will appear at the top when it is open in the correct mode. With nothing open, and at all of the times, these 4 tabs remain to allow you to manage your database. Now, the navigation pane on the left is controllable as to what you see at any one time, but we cover that in a separate lesson so that you can follow that in more detail. So this is an Access database. You open your Access database from wherever it's stored. You can start Access from the Start menu or from your desktop, and then open the database. The navigator on the left allows you to explore the objects of your database. The ribbons across the top allow you to control the content of your database, be that data or the actual structure. Now, those of you that are here from previous versions, so prior to 2007 really, will notice that things are slightly different. These ribbons are different. No ribbons existed before 2007. Now, a ribbon can be minimized by double clicking it, and then you see you just get the tabs, and then a single click on a tab brings the ribbon down, but only temporarily. If I click away, the tab then shrinks back. So one single click brings it back, but a click then lets it shrink back. Bring them back permanently, you double click, and that's now then stuck on the top at all times, no matter where you then click. So that's making the ribbon hide, effectively auto hide, because when you're away from it, it's hidden, but when you go click back on it, it comes back again. And that's just simply done by double clicking any one of the tabs, and then double clicking to bring it back permanently, or single clicking to bring it back temporarily while you choose your command. Click away, it then minimizes. So that's the start really of Access 2010, and just a little tour of the main parts of the interface. To exit the database, you either click the red cross at the top right as normal, or on the file menu right at the bottom, we have Exit. And that takes you back to your desktop.